From cloud storage to cold storage, hardware to tableware, business expenses look different to every business. With American Express Business Gold, you get 4 times membership rewards points on your top 2 eligible spending categories each month, like advertising purchases, so you can enjoy looking forward to great rewards. Terms and points cap apply. Learn more, including important category limitations, at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold, built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by Starry. When you drink Starry Lemon Lime Soda, every sip is a win. Perfect for game time or anytime. It's a crisp, refreshing lemon lime soda that's caffeine-free and bursting with flavor that makes you go, ah. Starry hits different. Find it in stores or online today.
And welcome to Unequal Sequel
Extra.
This is a very special Christmas edition of our extra chat, isn't it, Rich?
Yes.
Can you tell them what Christmas film we're going to be covering today?
we're covering a very damp blue Christmas. It's Avatar: The Way of Water. Is it The Way of Water or The Way of the Water?
Let me just double check that.
I think it's The Way of Water, right?
The Way of Water. I think I like The Way of the Water.
I mean, either way, it's shit.
But that sounds like more like a Bruce Lee.
Yeah, it does. Film. Yeah, that's true. Actually, The Way of the Water sounds like, yeah, he's going to use some sort of watery ninja skills.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's the Avatar sequel that we've all been like looking forward to for the last 13 years, right?
Right.
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 I think this is where we're going to have to go first, because we talk about this quite often in this film. It has come up quite a lot, and how it is the highest grossing movie ever now. It's made the first
Avatar,
one.
yes. Yeah,
it's made
is. Yeah.
A huge amount of money at its time.
In a way, I kind of understand, because there's absolutely no point watching it at home.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go to the cinema to watch Avatar, right?
Yes.
And you have to pay that extra bit of money to watch it in 3D, because otherwise it's just Fern Gully. You know, it's just not great.
It's just a mixture of other films, really.
You summed it up really well when you said about your experience of going to watch Avatar, and you came out of it and you're like, that was amazing, I can't wait to watch it again. And then you got it on DVD and got home and was like, oh.
It does lose its magic a lot. I found, especially the first one, I really, like, honestly, the first time I saw the first one, Avatar, I was in Braintree. 3D was very new, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And it
this standard
it was amazing.
3D was very
yeah,
new,
it was amazing. I was blown away. And I think that, like, smoothed over a lot of the problems in the first one. It's a little bit dull, let's be honest.
I mean, it's quite a lot dull. It's not just a little bit dull.
I rewatched it again. I know you haven't, right? You haven't rewatched the one.
I haven't watched it again, no, just because I can't bring myself to do that again.
I think you played it right, because we were both booked our tickets, and I was like, oh, I'm actually quite excited to see this.
Yeah, I was a little bit excited. Do you know what got me excited? The trailer. Before the 3D trailer before Wakanda Forever, and the 3D looked really good in that trailer, like way better than Wakanda Forever looked. The 3D Avatar trailer looked great.
Yeah,
and you know what? Avatar: The Way of Water looks great.
Looks great. I saw that trailer at the premiere of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and that was the first time they played it. Yeah, and I was like you. I was like, that's exciting. I'm going to rewatch Avatar before I watch the new one. I wish I didn't do that. I really wish I actually, I was like, I am not looking forward to the second one much anymore.
Should we get out of the way what's good about this movie?
Well, let's get the synopsis out of the way first.
Oh no, I knew you.
Bang, bang. Look at you trying to get away from it. No, I was thinking, like, I
haven't prepared a synopsis at all for this one.
I bet he doesn't remember any of the names.
Of course I'm not going to remember any names. Christ.
There's Jake Sully.
Jake Sully, that's the only name I'm going to remember. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to call them by their actor names, probably, because I can't remember what their names are. Okay, so Jake Sully, I think it takes place 13 years after the events of Avatar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jake Sully is the chief of the Na'vi tribe?
Has he got promoted, has he?
He is the chief, isn't he?
I believe so, yeah. There's a name for it.
I don't know. And he's got a family. There's a bit of description about how the family comes together, but they've got a family, one of whom is Sigourney Weaver's Avatar's daughter.
Yep, Grace, her name was.
Also paid by Sigourney Weaver, which weirds me the hell out. I'm not going to lie to you. In a kind of weird alien kind of cloney type thing that nobody can explain how her avatar's got pregnant when she's dead. Business type thing. Talking to people who are dead. All the baddies from the first one are back, but this time they're clones of themselves put into avatar bodies. No one really explains that very well. Just kind of like, they just like dump it on you and like, oh, here you go, have that, enjoy. And instead of, basically it's the same as the first one, but instead of coming to mine unobtainium, which still makes my blood boil, they are coming to colonize the planet and turn it into a new Earth, which they do in a really fucking shit way by like basically burning everything. Like,
well, that's just when they land, isn't it?
It appears that humans have learned fucking nothing in however many centuries it is before we discover intergalactic space travel. It appears we have grown not one iota as a species.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's all about, so they want to capture Jake because he's leading the resistance, and him and his family flee because apparently that's better than staying to fight.
Yep.
Then there's some some whales and crab robots and stuff, and I don't know what's going on there.
Basically, then they travel to another part of Pandora and live with another tribe.
Oh yeah, live with another tribe, yeah, which is really interesting and
the way
not at all
the way of
boring.
water. So they're no longer jungle folk; they're now water folk.
Yes.
Cool.
And there's 3 more movies apparently after this one. So me and Dave were talking about yesterday what they're going to be next. Sky folk, and then snow folk, and then who knows after that one. Well, snow and mountains, sort of the same thing. Flying, yeah, we said that, didn't we? Maybe like desert.
Desert would be good. How big is this moon on Pandora?
I have no idea.
Maybe they'll go off planet at one point. That might be interesting.
Yeah. Maybe yeah. So is Pandora their planet? Or is their planet a moon of Pandora?
I'll tell you what, I'll read Wikipedia.
Because their planet's a moon, right? Their planet's not the big planet.
Yes. I know that Earth is dying, and apparently this planet is the most suitable place for people on Earth to live. But
why didn't they
even though
before?
If they land on this planet, they can't breathe the oxygen. They have to wear masks.
Yeah, they have to wear masks. I don't know. All seems a bit wanky to me, but
it does seem a bit weird.
It's not very well explained, any of this. No one's motivation is particularly well explained.
I think their planet is called Pandora. More than a decade after Na'vi repelled the human invasion of Pandora, Jake Sully lives as chief of the Otamakara clan and raises a family of Natiri.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Good.
Do you want to do spoilers?
I think we've got to, haven't we?
Yeah. I think so. I think a lot of people are going to see it, well, this weekend and the first week. I think it's going to do huge amount of money. We went and saw it at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. I have to say it was busy.
Yeah, it was busy, yeah.
It was much busier than a normal showing at 11 o'clock would be.
Do you know what? I'm really thankful we spent the extra money and got the comfy seats.
So happy.
Because this was long.
Yeah, so with spoilers, please turn off now if you haven't seen it. Go see it, then come back. And there's not massive spoilers in here, no. I don't think.
Essentially, if you've seen the first one, there's not a lot in this one to spoil.
That is actually true.
So I'm really happy we've got the company seats, Dave, because it's 3.25 hours long, plus 40 minutes of trailers and adverts.
Yeah,
like I was out of the house for a good chunk longer than 4 hours. it was not. It's not something you want to start watching at 10 o'clock at night. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's why I said, let's just get it done Sunday morning. Get it done, because in the evenings, this is a no-go for me for this lot.
And get it done Sunday morning, I was all up for. I wasn't expecting to get back Sunday tea time.
Just in time for missed the first 10 minutes of the football. Yeah, it was... Okay. Rich,
okay.
Did you enjoy Avatar Way of Water?
I enjoyed Avatar Way of Water for about 20 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
Because it is beautiful. It is visually stunning. And it's not just the things you'd expect to be visually stunning. The water is very well. CGI water is hard to do.
They've nailed it.
And it does look really good. And yeah, CGI fire's hard to do as well. Make that look realistic. And that looked really good too. And it really, I don't say this very often because I don't like it very much, but it's worth watching it in 3D. It did add to it, I think. Especially the underwater stuff.
Yeah. I sat down to you and I said, get ready for this, because it's never going to look this good again.
No, exactly. I've got absolutely no intention of ever watching it again, because it will never be as good as that. You know, that was... And... Yeah, so first 20 minutes, I sort of enjoyed. I was getting into it.
Yeah.
Then for about an hour and a half, it's incredibly dull. And then a battle happens.
Is that the bit when they're learning the way of the water?
Pretty much, yeah. And then a battle happens at the end, which is basically James Cameron's like Titanic 2.
It's beat for beat the same as Avatar 1. It's beat for beat.
Well, no, yeah, but it's not a sinky boat in Avatar 1, is it?
No, but there's still a big old battle when things fall over.
There's a big old battle, but this one there's a boat sinking and people are trapped in it and they've got to swim out and stuff. It's basically like merge Avatar and Titanic together, which is what James Cameron's famous for, eh?
Well, he loves filming in water, and Kate Winslet's in it.
And Kate Winslet's in it, and and mate, the battle at the end looks good, but is essentially just lots of smashy and lots of plot holes.
Yes, there are some plot holes. I think I agree with you. You said to me you try to stay away looking at your watch.
I did. I tried really hard not to look at my watch.
I looked at my watch a lot. And people who listen to this know that I don't like long films, but I also love Lord of the Rings, which is a very long film. So if the time is used correctly, I do not mind it and I love it. And I was really looking forward to watching this. Like, there's not many films when it's like these big cinematic worlds, doesn't it? Like, you know, and it's always like the Marvel stuff, the Lord of the Rings stuff, or the Star Wars stuff. You can really immerse yourself into it. And you kind of do forget that most of the stuff that's on the screen isn't there. Like, technically, creatively, this film is brilliant. All the blue people don't know even work. I do think the bad blue guy looks like a young Vinnie Jones from his Wimbledon days.
Once you mention that, that's really hard to unsee.
You can't unsee it. The problem they have, because Stephen Lang is such a good bad guy in the first one, they're like, we have to kind of bring him back, and they bring back these...
He kind of loses something in this one for me.
He doesn't really sound like Stephen Lang, which is even weirder.
No, well...
you miss his face. You miss Stephen Lang's face.
You do, yeah. He's like... He chews the scenery in the first one, right? He properly takes that on.
His speech in the opening of that is so good.
Seems to be a lot more subdued in this. Like, I know he's a clone of Stephen Lang in a Na'vi body, essentially. Is it Na'vi? Yeah. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
I can't remember what they
call N-A-V-I, Na'vi,
whatever they are. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, it just loses something for me. He's just not, I don't know, it's like they sort of went, oh, wow, we've got a big problem about what we're going to do about the bad guys. Who are the bad guys going to be in this one? Oh, actually, no, sod it. We'll just bring back the bad guys from the last one. Because it's not just Stephen Lang, it's the other Marines that are back as well, isn't it?
It's his whole troop.
It's the whole troop. They just clone them and bring them back.
And it's very hard to tell who's who from each.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It gets a bit confusing. Would it have been better, and they might do it down the road, when they just have Na'vi on Na'vi fighting, like two tribes, I'm not quoting the song here, two tribes go to war.
I'm hoping they don't do that, because the Na'vi are supposed to be more highly evolved and in tune with their emotions than we are, right? You're not supposed to have that. It's supposed to be about us being fucking arseholes, which is, what humans, we are as a human race. Yeah, yeah.
Well, the first one was very colonialism. Like, we tried to teach them a way of, education. And
this one's
they
kind of
call them
like
savages and stuff.
Yeah, teaching you that whaling is bad. I think we knew that though, right?
Whaling is bad, kids.
Don't hunt whales. It's bad. Like, I think we knew that.
It's not even the flesh they want, is it? Or the whatever. It's the...
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of the whale hunting wasn't flesh, was it? They wanted the oil from the whales.
Oh, well, this is exactly the same. Because this is what they want. Yeah, this is exactly that. Did you enjoy the family themes?
Not really.
Family fun times.
Not really, because they didn't really develop much character for any of them. Like, I don't know. It just felt like a very, very bog standard. He's the son, one son's always fucks up. One son's the good son.
Yeah.
Guess which one's gonna die? Like,
And they both look very similar. One's a little bit taller.
One's a little bit taller. It really, Sigourney Weaver as a young teen navvy. Really messed with my head. I really hated it. I'm not gonna lie. It just, every time I looked at it, it's just wrong. It's just like had Sigourney Weaver's head on a child's body.
I'm guessing because most of the mocap CGI is the people playing them, but I'm guessing the girl that played Sigourney Weaver's character wasn't Sigourney Weaver.
Oh well, I think it probably. I don't know. Maybe
or was it Sigourney Weaver running around? Sigourney Weaver's like.
Okay, it wouldn't have been her running around because the body's tiny.
That's what
it's like a small child's head with Sigourney Weaver's adult size. A small child's body with an adult size head on it. She looked like a lollipop. Like it just freaked me out the whole way through.
Do you feel that part of the story was never really explained?
Not at all. No explanation whatsoever.
Because there's a lot of times she's wandering around and she's connecting to whatever the the big
and there's the whole thing about her having epilepsy and stuff, which
and you think
never happens again.
She's going to do so, and she kind of does something, but it doesn't explain that. Again, it might come in Avatar 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Christ knows, but it didn't happen in this one. There's lots of questions at the end of that.
Which is the most disappointing about this film is that I didn't love it or think it was a great film. I didn't enjoy it. Like it's not.
No.
It's not fun.
No, it isn't fun. No.
I didn't come out and think, at least I had a good time with it.
It's frustrating.
I was bored.
If you cut out an hour and a half out of this movie, it could be a really good movie.
I think I really enjoyed the last 45 minutes. Like you said, when things start going bang, crash, wallop.
Yeah, yeah.
When they start raising the stakes a little bit. I think that's when it finally kicks into gear.
And some of the robot stuff that the humans have, I love those crab things.
Yeah, really well designed. Everything's really well designed.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful. The differences between the jungle folk and the water folk, absolutely amazing. Yeah. I've got no problem with that. It's just a lot of story.
It's just the story.
But also, it's like look how fucking good we are at what we do. If you know what I mean, it's like, look how stunning this is.
And there's absolutely zero character development. Like it asks you to
chemistry.
Well, I'm not sure how much chemistry you can have, but like Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana are supposed to have been married for 15 years, and they're supposed to be the love of each other's lives, and they barely interact in the movie.
Yeah, they're not on screen together. There's the last portion when Zoe Saldana is not there. The rest of the family are all learning how to swim and do all that jazz.
Yeah, she's not in it.
She's not in it. And then at the end of it, they're all on their flying fishes, and she's still on her flying bat.
Yeah, it's very odd. And the other thing is that there's a lot of... It introduces quite a few characters, but explains nothing about them and expects you to care.
Yeah.
Like, there's no explanation of any of the characters you meet of the other Navi, the water Navi. There's like a hint that there's some sort of like chemistry and relationship between one of the chief's daughter and one of the sons. But also they like introduce like Jermaine Clement's character as as a scientist, and then does fuck all. And there's
you think he was American? I can't remember what even
he was putting on an American accent, but why?
Because
he's on an Australian boat. Yeah, like why is he putting an American accent?
It was actually quite jarring. I was like, is that Jermaine Clement?
Yeah, me too. It was like, That's weird. I thought he was at least going to be like, he basically stands there and sort of rolls his eyes because he's a scientist and he doesn't like killing whales, and yet doesn't do anything about it. Like, he has opportunities to be like, stand up and say this is wrong, and joy like the other scientists do in the first one, and separate himself. But he doesn't. Can
you tell you if he survives or dies?
I don't know. I mean, he's on that ship that gets crushed by a whale, so no, I'm imagining not.
Oh, that's a shame. I honestly thought they were going to do something with that character, like him and the water people, come to some kind of like, oh, wow, look at the way you live. Can I study you? And they're like, yes, demon man.
Yeah. Like the other scientists, basically. But no, none of that.
What about Spider, the adopted son, or real son of...
So I didn't watch Avatar before I watched this one, and I don't remember there being a baby in the first one.
There wasn't.
Right. So it's not I've forgotten that.
That's just dropped in the beginning of the first 10 minutes of this film now.
Right.
Somewhere this boy was, and they couldn't take him back because baby cryo chamber or whatever. Yeah, but then it's also seems to be the Stephen Lang's
son? Where's his mother? Right, for a start. Why didn't she stay with him?
No mention.
Like, and no one, like...
How does that work? How does that gas mask work, by the way? Is it filtering the air all the time so it's unlimited supply?
Not a fucking clue.
Again, not doesn't mention it. But it's in the future and there's science. Sci-fi.
Yeah. So, I imagine it's going to be a high-grossing movie. Because
it's going to make a lot.
There's so little point in watching it at home that you have to go to the cinema, you have to watch it in IMAX, and if at all possible, you should watch it in 3D.
Yeah.
So you've got to spend 25 quid a ticket to go and watch it, because that's the only real way of watching this movie.
It'd be interesting to see
get everything else out of it.
People have enjoyed this film. I've read fair few people, friends on the Twitterverse, and they've come back and like, oh wow, yeah. And I would love to see them after they've watched it at home. Yeah,
because I think that's the enjoyment. The enjoyment is, wow, this thing is beautiful. But then if you drill down into it, the storyline is so weak. It's just frustrating. It really is. You just sort of think you can do better than this. You can. Yeah. It's like you just put all the effort into making it look great. And I've said this before. I said this on an interview episode not too long ago, that bad CGI can ruin a movie, but great CGI can't make a badly written movie good. You know?
I've just had a thought. I'd love to hear Michael Marden review of this. Because his original plan for the worst ever sequel was going to be Avatar 2, even
before it even came out, yeah.
I might give him a text and ask him, actually.
It's really, really on the nose, isn't it? Like, the environmental message they're trying to get across.
Do you feel like it takes any risks?
It's like, no, none at all. It's bland. It's really bland. Like, I joke a lot about Avatar and Fern Gully being the same movie, but this is the same movie again.
But with water this time.
With water. It's like, let's make the same movie all over again, but this time they get wet. Huh?
It's weird, isn't it? Do you feel that it's been 13 years since the first one, right? And at that time, the 3D was innovating. It was that kind of CD. Were you expecting like Avatar 2? They've waited that long. Maybe we had the next step in something in technology, and when you just find out it's 3D again, you're like, oh well, I can live without that. Is this now going to ram 3D back down our throats? Oh, TV's going to go back to being 3D. They're going to release 3D films because they tried it.
No.
You think 3D is going to stay a special thing for some cinema films? Because I don't want to see every film in fucking 3D.
No, I really don't.
Hollywood, if you're listening or whatever, do not try and do that again.
No, it's got to be special to be worth it. Like I say, like Black Panther was spoiled, I think, by the 3D.
Yeah.
I wish I'd watched it not in 3D because it was just distracting. And to be honest, like there wasn't a lot of it. This is made for 3D. This is made as a 3D IMAX movie, and that's how you should watch it.
with the whole depth of field stuff. Cameron knows how to play with that, I think. And he knows how to put a nice set piece together, James Cameron.
Yeah.
But man, it's
but then
long.
I guess
and it's dare I say it's forgettable, Rich. Like,
it's totally forgettable. All I can think about, all I remember from it, and bearing in mind we watched it yesterday, is at time of recording, is
the whales look nice.
One of them wants a whale to be their friend. Like, he makes friends with a whale.
Yeah,
called Steve. Like, I don't know. Like,
who's been exiled for some reason?
Yeah, fuck knows.
But again, that story, I know he has the whale. Oh my god, the whale has a big save at the end, but it never completes that story.
No, it doesn't. He's not then accepted back. No, he isn't though, is he? He's like just
again,
fucked.
Avatar 3 might just be about the whale.
Maybe Avatar 3 answers all of these questions. There is a whopping great plot hole that really, really annoyed me in the fact that, okay, so Jake's eldest son, this is a massive spoiler, but Jake's eldest son dies. I say it's a massive spoiler, but it's fucking obvious from the whole way through that he's going to die. Anyway, he dies because he's shot, but no one realises he's been shot until he gets back to this little island that they're all on. And then he's like, oh God, I've been shot. And then he like collapses. And then he dies there and they're all kind of like confused. But somehow the bad guys know that he's died. Like somehow Stephen Lang's like, you lost a son, blah, 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 blah,
kind of thing. Son
like,
for a son.
How the fuck do you know? Like, how do you know that? How you weren't there? You don't see. No one knew it was hit until like that's just
he wasn't
nonsense.
There. Also, the sisters at the end don't know where the other son is, and they're all having their family hug. Like, hey, where's Jojo?
Yeah.
Where's Johnny?
Where's my brother? Like,
you don't know he's dead, guys. He's got some bad news to tell you.
Yeah. Bad news. He died.
At the end of this one, right? Avatar 2 ended, and we know there's Avatar 3. Possibly 4 and 5. Cameron said it depends how this one plays and how many sequels we get. I think this is going to play very well. China is going to love it.
Yeah, it's going to make a buttload of cash.
So we're going to get it free. I'm not excited for Avatar 3. I'm going to say it now.
Nope.
I'm obviously. Oh my god, I'm going to see it because
the magic will wear off. Though it's going to be, if it's exactly like this one, where for 10, 15, 20 minutes you're going, oh, that is pretty. And then for an hour and a half, you're like, oh, I wish something had happened.
Do something with this amazing tale.
Yeah. Come on. Fill in some plot holes for me, please. Tell me a story that I care about with some characters that I care about.
Yeah. Do you feel like it just needed a good editor just to be like, okay, we can chop?
I think it needed a good writer, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
I think it just needed... Yeah,
we can't be having go at these people. They're people at the top of their game. But
do you know what I think though? What it makes me think is, you know how James Cameron and Catherine Bigelow were married.
Yeah,
and James Cameron boasts that he like helped Catherine Bigelow loads with Point Break and stuff, and she says he didn't. I've got a feeling that maybe she's the creative force in that relationship, and she wrote most of Terminator 2 because
I'd like to see him do something else. I really would,
because I don't think I'm a massive James Cameron fan.
Take this technology and do something else with it, please.
Since Terminator 2, I can't think of. I'm not a massive Titanic fan, and the story of Titanic is. Again,
True Lies,
reasonably dull. Yes, okay. True Lies, given. True Lies is decent, but yeah, what else?
He has spent a lot of time on this.
Yeah,
and I really wish he didn't. Wish he didn't. It was.
I think he spent a lot of time on this in the wrong way.
Visuals over story.
But definitely. He's nailed it in like gluing you to the screen for the first 20 minutes or so. Absolutely nailed it. Visual spectacle, nailed it. You're supposed to be storytellers. That's what cinema is about. Essentially, it's people sitting around a campfire telling stories.
Yeah.
That's what cinema needs to be. And if you don't have the stories, it feels like an anticlimax.
It doesn't matter how good your visual effects are, your sounds, your music. All of that's really good.
Which is why a great book is great. Because all that stuff happens in your head. You know, you don't need that.
Yeah.
You need the story to be great.
Yeah.
And I can't believe on a movie podcast, I'm suggesting people go and read a book instead.
I don't want to read a book about...
Don't read the book of Avatar, The Way of Water. It will be shit.
I know they've got like a theme park ride, but I do feel like they're going to start expanding this soon. Like, we can tell a Disney Plus movie. Because Avatar is owned by Disney now, isn't it? It was Fox.
Is it? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
So
Unequal sequel. I think it's an equal sequel because I think they're both as bad as each other. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
No, you're right. It's definitely equal. I don't know if I use the words bad. There's so much like technical ability here, but is it for me? No. And I like big movies stuff.
Yeah.
Will I watch it again? I'd probably try not to. I'm not going to rush.
I'm not going to watch it again.
If the wife asks, can we watch it? I'd be like, I suppose we can, but let's just get some pizza and then I'm not going to watch it. Rate it. What do you reckon?
I would
out of 7.
This is hard because
technically it's a 7. Like
I mean, technical ability, visual stunningness, 7 out of 7.
Yeah.
Story, 1 out of 7. So I guess average it out and give it a 3.5.
I was going to go 3.
Okay.
I'd be more positive.
That's true. Yeah.
There's just Sam Worthington, bless his little cotton socks. I thought Zoe Saldana was really good for the part she was in. Like,
it's not enough. It's not enough.
For me, they've worked on her face a lot more than some of the other faces. Like, she's really expressive. Like, I don't know if that's just how good she is. Like,
but again, she just doesn't do anything though.
That's the whole film, isn't it?
She's very peripheral to the whole movie.
So, is it a recommendation? You've already said go see it that once.
Go and watch it in an IMAX in 3D once. Don't buy it on Blu-ray. Don't stream it. Go and watch it in a cinema in IMAX 3D
in a comfy seat.
In a major comfy seat because
really
fucking
helps.
hell, it's long.
It really helps.
Don't eat or drink anything beforehand for like at least 4 hours because you ain't gonna be able to move. But go and watch it that once. But
Happy Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
But this is going to come a Christmas film now because this is going to come out this Christmas. And then,
that's not a Christmas film.
But then the next one's coming out it's every 2 years now. So it's every...
I don't know.
2024.
Yes,
film. Every other year now.
Just because it's released at Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas film. It's got to have the Christmas film tropes. This is my Die Hard argument. Die Hard is not a film set at Christmas because they're the tropes of redemption and family and that kind of thing. That's what makes Die Hard a Christmas movie, not the fact that it's set at Christmas. Anyway, we're going off track.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say was, don't watch Avatar: The Way of Water more than once, but do go back and listen to our episodes.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Link that in nicely. Go back, have a little listen to all our other episodes. If it's the first one you've listened to, then there's better ones. Go back and listen to those. Hit the auto download button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll drop in to your pod player choice once a week. If you really like us, then head over to anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, where you can pay $2.99 a month to subscribe to our even greater service, and you'll get even more stuff from us. If you want to get in touch with us, maybe you think we're wrong and Avatar: Way of Water is the best film that's ever been made ever, get in touch on social media as long as it still exists. We are on Twitter and Instagram at Unequal Sequel, or you can drop us an email, unequalsequel@hotmail.com.
Beautiful. Yes, go check us out on Another Slice. There's more stuff coming. When this comes out, it is Rich's birthday on the day this is released. So
it is.
So when you listen to this, remember to send Richard happy birthday. Also, it's 2 days before Christmas. So this is our final episode before Christmas. So happy Christmas. Hope you all have an amazing one. If you don't celebrate Christmas, just have some time off, hopefully. Well, happy Hanukkah. That started today as well, by the time of recording. I've got nothing else to say, Rich. You got anything else to say?
We'll be back on Boxing Day with a Christmas special.
Last episode of season 4. Yes. So it's a driving home for Christmas from me and a goodbye from him.
Bye!
Have a good one, guys. Just really eat a lot and drink a lot.
That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
That's the spirit of Christmas. Eating your own body weight in cheese.
It is.